It is time. Episode 250 Amazing Facts. It is time. Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. Episode 200. We've come so far together. Chin-strap penguins take more than 10,000 micronaps a day, lasting an average of 4 seconds for a total of more than 11 hours of daily sleep. That's my kind of penguin. Over 30% of Vietnamese people have the last name Nguyen, and almost 85% of people in the country have one of 15 surnames. Portobello mushrooms and white button mushrooms are the same mushroom, just at different stages of growth. It's the same thing with criminy, the brown ones. Morgana Le Fay, who is most commonly known as a dark sorceress and the arch nemesis of Merlin, was instead depicted in the earliest Arthurian lore as a kind of benevolent witch. DJ scratching was invented in 1975 when Grand Wizard Theodore was playing records loudly, which caused his mother to enter the room to scold him. This caused him to hold the record still, accidentally moving it back and forth and liking the sound that it made. Side note, what did the DJ name his son? Eric. The dead internet theory is an online conspiracy theory that asserts that the internet now consists mainly of bot activity and automatically generated content manipulated by algorithmic curation to intentionally manipulate the population and minimize organic human activity. Eric Roberts is one of the most prolific actors of all time, with 849 acting credits on IMDb since 1978. That's roughly 18 gigs per year for 46 years. In 1946, New Zealand accidentally held its election late by 2 full months because someone forgot to mark the calendar and forgot the last election was held earlier than usual. The only plane permitted to fly on 9/11 after the attacks was a plane flying from San Diego to Miami to deliver anti-venom to a man bitten by a highly venomous snake. It was escorted by 2 fighter jets. The last Democratic president to die was Lyndon B. Johnson in 1973. When asked to sit in the white section of a segregated Southern conference, Eleanor Roosevelt refused to comply and moved her chair right between the white and black seated sections and sat there for the rest of the conference. One of the rarest events in baseball is the unassisted triple play, wherein one defensive player makes 3 outs on a single play. There have only been 15 in MLB history, making it rarer than a perfect game. The United States produces more crude oil than any country ever. There's a study that proved across 80 pairs of jeans that women's pockets are generally half the size of men's for the same brand. Only 40% of them can comfortably fit an iPhone, and only 10% can fit your entire hand. In comparison, 100% of male jeans can fit either. Acadia AD-42 was a Yellowstone-class destroyer in the United States Navy. She was the first ship to have a wartime mixed-sex crew and was nicknamed the Love Boat in the Persian Gulf War after 10% of the crew became pregnant during deployment. Pizza is considered a food for the elite in North Korea, with most citizens being unable to afford it. Kim Jong-il hired Italian chefs to train North Koreans in pizza making and introduced it to the country after he became interested in pizza in the 1990s. Wearing a necktie can reduce blood flow to the brain by 7.5% on average. Japan's monarchy is the oldest continuous hereditary monarchy in the world, recognizing 126 monarchs and dating back to February 11th, 660 BCE, with mythical beginning. However, the current dynasty has no name, and its members have no family name, and are simply referred to as the Imperial House. King James I of England spoke against the dangers of tobacco in 1604, calling it dangerous to the lungs and brain, and attempted to put heavy taxes on it. Louisiana law incorrectly lists and restricts a variety of edible ground cherry as a hallucinogen because of its long history of use as food by native peoples. The most expensive movie poster ever sold at auction was from the 1927 lost film London After Midnight. The winning bid was $478,000 by Metallica's guitarist Kirk Hammett. The poster is displayed in his collection at Toronto's Royal Ontario Museum for all to appreciate. Littering can result in imprisonment of up to 6 years in Tennessee. During the Apollo 13 mission, Jack Swigert realized he had forgotten to file his tax return. NASA contacted the IRS, who agreed that he was considered out of the country and therefore entitled to a deadline extension. See, if you just want a tax extension, all you gotta do is go to the moon. Real simple. When the Beatles broke up in 1970, they were all still in their late 20s. John Lennon and Ringo Starr were both 29, while Paul McCartney and George Harrison were just 27. Honeybees who consume a nectar that contains granotoxins can produce a special honey called mad honey. Ingesting this honey causes violent drunkenness and disorientation. Interestingly, you can actually watch people eat this honey on YouTube. It's kind of interesting, you should check it out. Howard Hughes was a chronic insomniac who wanted to watch movies on TV when most people were asleep, but when he first arrived in Las Vegas, he discovered that it had no all-night TV stations. So he purchased a local station in 1967 and turned it into a 24/7 channel. Curtis Flowers was a man who was tried for the same crime 6 times by the same prosecutor and sentenced to death 4 times. But all convictions were overturned after a Supreme Court ruling in his favor, and he was released after more than 20 years on death row. There are 3 main types of circus clowns in a traditional clown trio: the white-faced clown, which is the leading clown and most important; the contra august clown, which is the imitator of the white-faced clown and mediator and second most important; and the august clown, which is submissive to the white-faced clown and least important. If you're enjoying the video, give it a thumbs up. The only difference between a hurricane and a typhoon is the location where the storm occurs. Hurricanes are from the Atlantic and typhoons are from the Pacific. Roger Fisher was a Harvard Law School professor who proposed putting the US nuclear codes inside a person so that the president has no choice but to take a life to activate the country's nuclear weapons. In 2021, an Italian artist sold an invisible sculpture for £13,000 and gave the buyer a certificate of authenticity to prove that it's real. The Capitol Hill Mystery Soda Machine is a vending machine in Capitol Hill, Seattle, notable for its mystery buttons, which dispensed unusual drink flavors. It's unknown who restocked the machine, which originally caused the development of a local legend that the machine was haunted. Ghost Cola. The Swiss cheese model is a form of risk analysis that proposes some errors are caused by flaws in multiple systems aligning, like the holes in different slices of Swiss cheese. The codes which allow the President of the United States to authorize a nuclear attack are printed on a plastic card nicknamed the Biscuit. The President is supposed to carry the biscuit at all times. Charles de Gaulle was not told about the D-Day landings until 2 days before, as the British and French leaders did not believe the French could keep the information secret. Because American and British generals insisted the French unit that helped liberate Paris would be all white, a white French unit had to be shipped in from Morocco and was supplemented with soldiers from Spain and Portugal. So it made it all white, but not all French. 4 Catholic priests survived less than a mile from the blast of an A-bomb on Hiroshima. Michelle Kwan is the most decorated figure skater in US history. She's also the US ambassador to Belize. The Hong Kong Jockey Club, which runs horse races in Hong Kong, is the city's biggest single taxpayer, having paid $28.6 billion in 2022, equal to $3,800 for every man, woman, and child in the region. The deepest mine in the world is the Mponeng Gold Mine in South Africa, which reaches over 4 kilometers or 2.5 miles below the Earth's surface. At such depths, temperatures reach over 60 degrees Celsius or 140 degrees Fahrenheit, requiring advanced cooling systems to keep the miners safe. By the 1830s, American alcohol consumption had peaked at an all-time high of 7.1 gallons of absolute alcohol per capita annually. That's more than 3 times the current consumption rate of about 2.2 gallons. Newborn babies of both sexes can lactate because of the mother's hormones. It's called neonatal milk or witch's milk. After visiting Pyongyang in 1971, Romanian dictator Ceausescu got obsessed with North Korean ideology and implemented it into his country. He was executed in 1989. Birds control the shape of their wings during flight, using hook-shaped microstructures in their feathers to prevent them spreading too far apart. The detachment of the hooks is noisy, so they're actually missing from silent flyers such as barn owls. The first 6 films in the Saw franchise included blood collection drives as part of their promotions. Over 120,000 pints of blood were collected because of these drives, which is estimated to have helped save around 360,000 lives. Deep sea mining for valuable minerals such as nickel, cobalt, and rare earth elements is being explored on the ocean floor, but the industry is controversial due to concerns that it could disrupt ecosystems. The Hoover Dam contains enough concrete to build a 2-lane road from San Francisco to New York. The longest time between 2 twins being born is 90 days. During World War II, a German interrogator named Hans Scharf discovered the best way to get information from prisoners was through kindness. The previous heir to North Korea is believed to have lost his position as heir after he tried getting into Disneyland in Japan with a fake passport. He was then exiled from the country and later assassinated in 2017 after many failed attempts. And that's it. If you guys enjoyed this, please give it a like and share it, and of course leave a comment. And if you'd like to see more 50 Amazing Facts or any other videos, you can click one of the clickable links on screen right now, and be sure to add me to all the socials. Links are in the description. Thank you again for 200 episodes of 50 Amazing Facts, and I'll see you in the next video.